If you listen to what Tomi Lahren said and you're honest as a man, you have to understand. You have to really admit that she was pretty much 100% right in everything that she said. Now, I know the initial reaction to that statement is, but wait a minute, PC. In your last video, you said that she was full of crap and, she got what she deserved. And I still stand on that. Tomi Lahren she is the epitome of the spoiled sorority girl that has never really been told the truth. But I know from my own experience in dealing with women from the time I was in high school all the way until the time that I got myself off the dating rotation game. All the way through that, I played a vital role in everything that happened in my life. Now, the way that I ended up making this channel, providing this content, sharing my view on it, be it right or not, it's my view, it's my take. The whole time that I've done this, I've always kept my own play in the game. I've always kept that at the very front of my mind. And so while I was learning these lessons, I never really just blamed it all on the women. I just learned that there was a common thread in the way that things went. And a lot of times, even though it would be different roles up to the hypergamous exhibition, if you will, it was always the same thing, and I didn't understand it. And for a while, I took it personal. And when I came into learning about Rollo Tomasi's work and diving into some of the red pill content stuff, just like most guys, you come into it from a point of pain and anger. And in dealing with Tomi Lahren's rant, because it's always funny when the bully gets punched in the face, a lot of people have taken advantage of the opportunity to kick the pretty girl when she's already been kicked. And my last video wasn't really to kick Tomi, it was just to point out really what was going on. This is a girl that has been used to one form of treatment and has acted a certain way throughout her life, and these actions aren't working anymore. And she's believed a narrative, and also the other part, and that's the other part of that, she's been lied to by most of the people that she's interacted with. And that's undeniable, because if she hadn't been lied to, she wouldn't be at this point. She wouldn't be so frustrated by getting ghosted and lied to and put off and all of these things. None of this would have blown up the way that it did in this emotional outburst that you would expect from a child. That wouldn't have happened if her experiences didn't mirror the projection that she put out. So my video wasn't really to kick Tomi. It was just to say, listen, you're delusional. You and your friends are full of shit. And if you took a look in the mirror and realized that you've believed a bunch of lies, you would see that you have some work to do. And that's really the point of that. I'm not backtracking on that at all. I think she got what she deserved. I think she's getting paid back the way she's probably treated a lot of men. She's getting the treatment back. And for the next couple of 10 years, she's going to have a really hard road, no matter what happens, especially now that she acted like such a child. It's going to be really hard for a man of substance, of real worth and value, to enter into an engagement with that, knowing that he's dealing with a child. So that wasn't really to pick on Tomi. I don't know her. I listen to what she says, and I see the arrogance and entitlement, and it makes me sick. But it's the way our culture is going. Now, back to the point here. Everything that she has mentioned in this are all valid. They're all valid points. But For the purposes of this video, and this video is going to set off a string of videos because I want to put men who are absorbing this content, I want to put you on a path that's different than the path that a lot of people that are in this community giving advice to men. There's a lot of grown children with toys in the background trying to get men to be little children, and that's not what I'm trying, that's not my objective at all. My objective is to get men to stand up and really be men again. And that means a totally different thing in my perspective than in a lot of other people's perspective. Now, we can go down the line of everything that she was crying about. Lying about being involved, texting instead of calling, not making plans, not staying consistent, and then acting like a bitch when things get flipped, when you don't do these things. Here's the problem with men. Men do this just like women do. But this channel's not for women, it's not about women, it's for men. That's a little boy shit. To lie to a girl, to lie to a woman, to lead her on, to not be honest about what your intentions are, where you're coming from, where your frame is, lying about those things, even though you can say, they do it too. You can, a lot of people do a lot of things. That doesn't make it right for everybody to do. If you're supposed to be a man of value, of worth, of some sort of moral upstanding, if you're an uncommon man, if you consider yourself to be some man of value, then you've got to have some value. It can't just be about the superficial bullshit like money and the way that you look and what, all of the stuff that people conflate to mean that you have value. Those are superficial things that can be lost in a moment. Your money can be lost in a bad investment. Your looks can be lost in a bad accident. Your whole life can change with the toss of a fucking coin. So to put worth in those things, they're actually worthless. What are you really as a man? And to be in a situation where you're with someone and they don't know that you're out prowling, and the women that you're approaching don't know that you're out prowling, you're a fucking coward. That's just plain and simple what it is. You're a coward. If you're too scared to call a woman and engage with her, and you're leading her on, or you're trying to hold her as a placemat while you're out running, doing shit on the side, you're a coward. It's plain and simple. And if you're doing those things and you're leading a woman on so you can make a booty call at 2 o'clock, you're a fucking coward. You're acting like a child. That's what little boys do. That's what I did when I was 14, 15 years old and I figured out what my wiener was for. I went on a mission. I just went on a straight mission to smash as much as I could. And the sad part about it is it took me decades of looking at myself in a mirror in the form of a female to realize that, man, that is just not the way that it's supposed to go. I did all those things, every one of them, and it was wrong. It was wrong because you can't engage with people. As a man, you can't engage with women that you're not really interested in just to use them to bust and move. You can't. It's not fair as a man, as any sort of man, to not be honest about your intentions. You're a fucking coward. And if a woman is doing that and she's giving herself to you, even if you justify it by saying she's a thought, she's a slut, whatever your justification is, that doesn't mean that you have to be a part of that. If your standards are such that you qualify yourself as a high value man, then why are you sleeping with sluts? So when you look at all the things that she broke down, all of these things, not making plans, not staying consistent, what that means is guys are ghosting her and not telling her the truth. And that's one of the biggest problems here, because Tomi believes a bunch of bullshit about herself. And the reason why she believes that is because guys have allowed her to cultivate, propagate, water, and grow these weeds of thoughts and beliefs because they just wanted to smash. So now she's 28 years old and she's highly confused because everything that worked before doesn't work anymore. None of it's working anymore. So now she's panicking. And had men been honest all along, none of this would have happened. And if you do these things, if you if you treat women this way, if you use women this way, and then one day you make your 2 a.m. booty call and she catches feelings and you start acting like a bitch, like she said, you're wrong. But I don't think that's what really happens. What Tomi did was she was the one that was exposing herself to be what she really was. She's that in the relationships that she's dealing with, and that's why men don't stick around. But again, this isn't about women. It's not about Tomi. This is about men. This is about her being correct in her assessment that men are broken in this country. From 20 to whatever. Men are broken. We're broken because feminism has taken our balls away, taken our voice away, taken our spines away, and generation has spawned generation of cowardly men. And so this is the one thing that I would say to men in dealing with what Tomi said. Continue to laugh at the pretty girl. That's fun. It's funny when girls like that get their comeuppance. It's a beautiful thing when karma takes its hold. But for the men that are in the red pill community that are propagating one side versus the other, men and women need each other. We have to figure out a way to fix this divide. We have to. Going your own way, you should do that to get your shit together, because that's probably why the things went bad in the first place. People are in a rush to find something before they're in a stable place, and you get what you get. It's a woman's imperative to find the best position for herself, and if you're not the best position, then that's only her doing what she's supposed to do if she branches to somebody who's got a more stable branch, right? If that's what their imperative is, if that happened to you, that meant you didn't have your shit together, if you're being honest. And that's what we're about here, being honest, telling the truth. So, all the things that she said, all of the problems that she posed, all of this can be fixed with one simple action, which is the fundamental foundation of my program with all my men. And it's stop fucking lying. It's that simple. Stop lying. Stop lying to yourself about where you're at in life, who you are in life, what you stand for, and actually become something. Stop lying to these women just because you're so thirsty that you're willing to sit through and lie to and do anything just for a chance to do it. Stop doing it. Stop creating what you don't like, because if you're in the game at all and you've interacted with women, chances are you have propagated part of the problem, but you just weren't paying attention because you were doing it to women that you didn't care about, just like Tomi has gotten run through by guys who didn't care about her. Chances are she threw a lot of good men away to go be with these men, just like men who cry about what happened to them most likely threw away a lot of good women to go get with these women who tore their souls out. Tomi Lahren was right in everything she said. Men that have engaged with her in this fashion, that have listened to her bullshit, tolerated all of the things that she believes that are fake, false, all of the self-importance and achievements, all of the things that men have sat through and pumped her up on just so they could slam her, those dudes are all cowards. She's right. Those dudes are all broken. Men are broken. Men are broken because feminism has taken the masculinity out of men, put it into women, made boys into hoes. And now the dynamic is broken. The way we fix this is, number one, stop fucking lying. Out.